Welcome to the debut episode of the Breakfast Club, the show you'll be talking about at breakfast. I'm Presh Naidu, this is Keegan Buzzer, and we'll be your hosts for today. How you doing, hun?
Not too bad, babe.
That's
But before
good.
that toast pops and while the bacon's sizzling, let's cross to Brad at the news desk.
Good morning. A 60-year-old man has been arrested for the murder of Frankston mother Tracy Greenbury this morning. The 33-year-old mother of two was shot in the head in front of a house on Monday morning while fleeing from her killer. An Australian journalist has been injured and his colleague badly shaken in a suicide bombing that has killed 15 people in Afghanistan. Sydney-based photographers Stephen DuPont and Paul Raphael were in a car about 20 metres from the blast, which tore through the small town of Kyogarni. And UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon will head a new task force to come up with solutions to the global food crisis, asking the richest countries for urgent food aid now. The UN estimates that due to soaring prices, up to 100 million people will now need food aid. And in sport, the AFL has fined the Sydney Swans $50,000 for having an extra player on the field during Sunday's drawn match against North Melbourne. However, North Melbourne CEO James Brayshaw has demanded the AFL give the Kangaroos all 4 competition points. And that's the news for now. Back to you kids on the couch.
Thanks for that, Brad. Now, Keegan, this week Big Brother started up.
Indeed.
And we sent out Breakfast Club reporter Samara to uncover some truths about reality TV.
Whether you love it or hate it, reality TV is here to stay. So what makes it so appealing to younger audiences, and what effect does it have? Sessional academic and PhD candidate Ben Isakhan says he can't foresee an end to the juggernaut that is reality TV.
Reality TV will continue in some sort of format. I mean, Candid Camera was first on television the same year that television began, and so we've had reality TV since we've had TV, so it's not going to die off quick, I don't think.
But what is the appeal for everyday people to put their integrity on the line and personality on trial?
One of the main reasons people are interested is because of the fame. It literally turns a very ordinary, everyday individual, whether they be, as I saw last night, a grandmother. One
person who epitomises the eternal quest for fame is Jay Clark. The Griffith University student has auditioned for Big Brother an astonishing 4 times.
If you work it right, you can gain pretty much anything. People have been on Neighbours, they've got radio gigs.
54% of Australians surveyed say they believe contestants on reality shows are manipulated and exploited by editing. However, fame seeker Jay says this is not a concern for her.
It's always a question people ask, like, oh, what if they perceive you as a bitch? But I think, it depends what you put out. If there's some way that you are bitchy, then they'll work with it.
I'm Samara Brewer-Charles, reporting for the Breakfast Club.
On the subject of reality TV, Big Brother's now underway with a new season. Today we're asking people what they do to stand out in an audition and win a place in the house of Big Brother.
It's in my mind to show up in a teddy bear suit, but that's not really original. Maybe an alien, maybe dressed up like an alien.
And I'd probably get naked, and then hopefully that'd get me in because I'd attract a lot of attention.
First and foremost, I'd make it clear that I'm a militant dyke and a separatist.
We salute you, militant dyke.
Of course you would, Keegan. Now, Keeks, this week you were lucky enough to catch up with music duo Angus and Mel. Let's check out what happened.
So, first question. You guys won the Blues and Roots busking competition last month. How's that experience for you?
Oh, it was wicked. It was really good. We got to play at the Beach Hotel, played with a few really good bands, got to meet a lot of cool people.
So, Mel, you're from Canada.
Yeah.
Angus, Sydney boy.
Sydney.
You both live in Byron or around Byron. How does that sort of influence your music?
Yeah, well, we live in Bangalow, which is just near Byron, about 6 or 7 minutes out of Byron. So you get like this nice, peaceful vibe, and we do a bit of studio stuff at home and, hang out, have beers on a Sunday afternoon.
So your new album's out at the moment. Tell us a little about the style of the album, feel of it, what influenced you. Just give it a plug.
It's actually a combination of both my solo work, Mel's solo work, and the stuff we do together.
Hey guys, well, Angus and Mel, in about 2 seconds, are about to perform You're So Great for us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you want to check the guys out, you can go to their MySpace page. We'll chuck them details up in a sec. Angus and Mel, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, strike me down, but a copy of Angus and Mel's latest album's fallen on my lap. Melanie vs Flowerdale Studio is an exploration through the different styles of the guys, skillfully crafting the poppy folk feel of Mel's solo work and Angus's jazzier tones. Angus's solo work in itself is an eclectic blend of styles and sounds, merging an electro-pop and rock influence with an undeniable jazz undertone. A standout track on the album is All the Animals. Driven by acoustic guitar, the song shows Mel's incredible vocal range, effortlessly gliding through key changes. You're So Great, which we just heard, is on the album much folkier and less oomphy than what was given to us in the studio. While great to listen to, the album lacks the 1 or 2 songs necessary to take it to that next level. There are no tracks which I could foresee as singles, except perhaps for You're So Great, if reproduced in the vein of our studio performance.
They did do a great performance though, Keegs, I must admit.
It was a great performance. I just have to say that the album didn't do their live performance justice.
Sure thing, but I'm sure they've got some promise there.
Oh, absolutely, Press,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They're really great. Byron's always getting out some great talent there, so
No, definitely,
yeah.
mate.
Now we're going to head back to Brad for one last check of the headlines.
And now we have the weird and wacky world news of the day. A university lecturer has been sacked, wait for it, after exposing her red underwear during her cheeky dance moves that was aired on YouTube. The 43-year-old professor, banned from teaching for the next 3 years, was filmed at a party in the library at the University of Transylvania in Romania. But believe me, if I was taught that way, I would have learned a lot more. In China, a 48-year-old has performed a crazy stunt, tight roping against 2 steel caves in his car about 15 stories above a river. The 250-metre journey was completed in 30 minutes. Apparently there's just too much traffic on the roads that day. Well done for you. And now there's a ban on Barbie in Iran. The infamous doll has been accused of having destructive social and cultural consequences. Iran's the 3rd biggest importer of toys, but they say that it poses a threat to the personality and identity of their children. God forbid they have a personality of their own. And that's all the news for today for me. Let's head back to you guys on the couch.
Thanks for that, Brad. Well, that's it for our very first episode of The Breakfast Club.
Thanks to everyone who was a part of this week's show, and join us again next time on The Breakfast Club.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.